In 2015, the city of Chiclayo finished construction on the Paseo Yortuque, which commemorates the region's Moche culture. The Moche culture flourished along the coast of the northwestern Peru for 600 years until around 700 AD, and this walking path of statues immortalizes many of their leaders, folk figures, and deities. For over a full mile, visitors to the Paseo Yortuque can enjoy murals and more than 60 oversized statues sculpted by artist Frede Luque. Many depict former royalty, but others are bizarre, lifelike depictions of creatures drawn from the Moche pantheon. There are human crab hybrids, long-necked monsters, and rinchin, a demonic fish once known for attacking careless fishermen unless the Moche priesthood supplicated it with offerings. However, one statue has drawn more attention than any other since Paseo Yortuque's creation, a sculpture of a terrifying lizard man staring down at pedestrians. A sign accompanying this human-reptile hybrid names him Morup and reads, "Iguanas were considered to be beings with special characteristics. Due to their ability to live underground, they were considered the contact between the world of the living and of the dead." One statue has drawn more attention than any other since Paseo Yortuque's creation, a sculpture of a terrifying lizard man staring down at pedestrians. A sign accompanying this human-reptile hybrid names him Morup and reads, "Iguanas were considered to be beings with special characteristics. Due to their ability to live underground, they were considered the contact between the world of the living and of the dead, or ancestors. The Iguana Man of Mochi Ka iconography is the helper of another powerful character. His presence and activities related to the tomb, carrying offerings to help the deceased descend. It gave him a special place as a sort of mediator between the world of the living and of the dead. Morup has gained the most attention online. In fact, within months, paranormal forums on the internet were abuzz discussing the imposing reptilian figure. Was it, as the Paseo Yortuque signage claimed, a deity of the Moche once revered as an intercessor between the living or the dead, or was artist Frede Luque trying to tell us something about a modern-day lizard person, a secret in hiding in plain sight? Was there any occult significance? This fervor was fueled by the fact that a cursory search online reveals very little academic literature, at least in English, about any iguana deity named Morop. Golte describes Morop as the constant companion of the wrinkle-faced, snake-belled god Kismike, who arrived in ancient times to defend humankind during the Age of Monsters. In Moche artistic depictions, Morop is seen with his arms raised, Kismike wearing a condor headdress and carrying accessories normally reserved for shamans. The signage of the Morop statue appears correct in its assumption that the god has something to do with the dead. He is often seen with symbols associated with psychopomps, deities tasked with escorting the dead to the afterlife. Think of Anubis, or the Grim Reaper, or angels. Among these symbols are Morop's human-animal hybrid appearance, a motif commonly found in shamans who escort the dead, and his trusty canine companion. Dogs were universally regarded as guides to the afterlife, so it seems we've figured out the statue's identity. But does it signal something else? Do reptilian humanoids dwell among us, and if so, where do they come from? Because they lacked a written language, what we know about the Moche can only be gathered from the relics and ruins they left behind. By all appearances, they were quite sophisticated. Pioneering metallurgy like soldering and gilding, they fashioned an impressive system of aqueducts and built large pyramids from countless mud bricks. While there are plenty of smaller ruins in the vicinity of Chiclayo, one of the Moche's most important centers lies around 86 miles down the coast to the southeast and is named El Brujo, the Sorcerer. This puts Chiclayo squarely in the center of what could be considered a window area. Although similar concepts stretch back much earlier, the idea of the window area was first formally put forth in John Keel's 1970 book Operation Trojan Horse. After poring over countless reports, Keel noticed what he claimed to be a tendency for anomalies and UFO sightings to appear within a 200-mile diameter of ancient archaeological sites. Researchers in the years since have found that zones of heavy paranormal activity around the globe meet the exact same criteria. Now, accordingly, the Peruvian coast has remained a hotbed for UFO sightings over decades. Some feel that the Morop statue signals the reptilian's presence on our planet, or at the very least in our distant past. Others allege not one, but 3 separate races of reptilians exist. The primary variety, the Draco, a sometimes winged race of bipedal, lizard-like aliens hailing from the Alpha Draconia star system. Reptilians crossed with gray aliens, and reptoids, a variety of reptilian-human hybrid. There is also the issue of the Moche god Morop's status as a psychopomp, one of the figures who led the Moche dead to the underworld. This subterranean association naturally calls to mind tales of extraterrestrial bases beneath the earth. Is it coincidental that reptilians are among the most common races said to inhabit these species? The theme of underground reptilian bases is inextricably tied to the controversial conspiracy theorist David Icke, who was greatly influenced by John Rhodes. In his 1999 book, The Biggest Secret, Icke claimed that beneath its surface, the entire globe was crisscrossed with tunnels and bases forged by the reptilian forces. Icke claims some of the most important sites can be found in the American Southwest. This is where reptilians conduct hybridization experiments with human beings right beneath our very feet. Icke asserts that these reptilians can shapeshift and have infiltrated the highest echelons of authority. Among their ranks, he counts government officials like presidents, prime ministers, and the monarchy. We use the term draconian to describe excessively severe or harsh punishment at the hand of rulers. However, the theme of alien bases underground was popular long before David Icke's ascendancy. Famous stories like New Mexico's Dulce Base inspired speculation that UFO occupants used underground facilities as places to experiment on alien abductees, or even as meeting places to cooperate with terrestrial governments. One urban legend from Los Angeles even alleges that a race of lizard people migrated north from Central America 5 millennia ago, establishing a high, elaborate city underneath where the modern metropolis now stands. The LA lizard people supposedly fled a cataclysm in their native land, but were able to use their own technological prowess to dig the network of 285 tunnels and massive chambers to accommodate over 1,000 families. One man, a geophysicist named George Warren Shulfet, so strongly believed in the LA lizard people that he had spent his entire life searching for their mythical kingdom in the 1930s. Shulfet later claimed to have knowledge of the lizard people's catacombs, having charted nearly 12,000 square feet of tunnels, chambers, and gold vaults using his patented radio X-ray machine. Like all indigenous people, the Moche believed in a robust spirit world thriving alongside our very own. Magical practitioners in the vicinity of Chiclayo can draw a direct line of tradition all the way back to the Moche themselves. El Brujo was given its name because, above all else, it is understood as a ritual site, where shamans practice their art to commune with the other world. Tying in with our reptilian theme, another important site just to the north of El Brujo is a place called Huaca del Dragón, which includes a carving of a massive reptilian monster on its walls. Wherever they come from, reptilians like Morup seem to have been interacting with humans since time immemorial. Some of our oldest myths and legends, even the foundation of our religions, claim that snake and lizard-like beings have visited us from other realms. Perhaps most famously, Abrahamic religions describe the serpent who tempted Eve in the garden a pivotal moment in Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. Another interpretation nests the Garden of Eden story of the civilizing trickster. The concept is unfathomably old, appearing in indigenous cultures at time depths predating recorded history. The most famous variant in this body of myths is perhaps Prometheus, who in Greek myth stole fire from the gods and gifted it to human beings. Turning to Latin America, these civilizing gods sometimes take the form of reptilians, as in the Garden of Eden story. The most famous is Quetzalcoatl, the winged serpent. In certain myths from Aztec culture, Quetzalcoatl not only created humans, but gave them the gift of maize. The large-scale propagation of this crop played a pivotal role in the expansion of the massive Aztec empire. To bring things full circle, we even find allusions to the Moche iguana god, Morup, playing this exact same role. Some sources indicate that he not only escorted the dead, but also provided the Moche with the knowledge and assistance to improve their society. Like the knowledge Adam and Eve gained at the urging of the serpent, human beings in these stories are given tools of immeasurable power, tools which, while beneficial, were destined to lead to untold strife. Are these ancient reptilian masters relegated to Peru, or do they lurk everywhere, at all times, inches from our face, but unseen in waking life? We may never know. But that doesn't mean we never did. Perhaps the Moche knew. Perhaps they actually met a terrifying iguana god who escorted them to the threshold of the underworld and brought them back building blocks of civilization. While forgotten to the rest of us, the specter of Morup lingers on, encountered only by those who slip beyond the fringes of reality, or those who walk past his statue in Chiclayo's Paseo Yortuque, blissfully unaware of the dark symbolism it contains.
Bien, nos encontramos aquí en Chiclayo, en el Paseo Yortuque, y lo que más llama la atención en este paseo, se habla del hombre reptil o el hombre iguana, según era una deidad de los dioses moche de esta cultura de parte del norte del Perú. Pero también se dice que fue uno de los dioses que ayudaba a los muertos a pasar a otra dimensión. Pero también se habla que interactuó con los seres humanos, era un ser que vivía debajo de la tierra y tenía muchos poderes. Según las deidades, historias que hablan, pues él ayudó a esta civilización de los mochicas, y es por ello considerado como un dios mochica, un dios moche. Pero en Morrope se encuentra la estatua de este ser en forma de iguana o reptil. Lo que actualmente hablamos, ¿no?, de seres reptilianos, que seres que interactuaron con nuestra cultura, con seres humanos como nosotros, y que a través del tiempo, la historia, quedaron impregnadas por los antiguos peruanos en esta parte del norte del Perú. Realmente es impresionante ver a una estatua de un reptil o una iguana que pues con el cuerpo de hombre y con las piernas, los brazos, las manos y con la cabeza de un reptil. Impresionante lo que podemos tener en esta parte del Perú, en Chiclayo, justamente en este parque, que es impresionante. Las deidades que existen y que han sido formadas de una u otra manera por la cultura tradicional de este lugar.